Good morning, folks. This is Deb Delapiana, and this is your short take. I wish I were sitting here and I were happy and I were in the mood to be sarcastic and I were in the mood to make a shut the fuck up, or even just my everyday short take where there's a little sarcasm and maybe a little humor every now and then, but I'm not in that mood today. Today, I woke up at 6:30 because I'm having company today for lunch. And I had some stuff to get done. And the first thing I find on my phone is that in Colorado Springs, there has been an attack on an LGBTQ nightclub, and it has left 5 dead and at least 18 injured. And we don't have an update yet, if there's any more than that. This attack took place just hours before the club was going to be holding a drag brunch in honor of Transgender Remembrance Day. Sunday is Transgender Remembrance Day. So this attack happened just before that. It also was going to be the day where the club gave a Friendsgiving dinner, free to everybody. And the people who run the club have described this as a hate crime. No shit. Why do people go in and kill people at a gay bar? Unless it's a hate crime. I'm sorry, folks. It's the same thing as going into a synagogue and annihilating Jewish people. These are hate crimes. And these are hate crimes. I'm going to say this, and I don't really give a shit. Who doesn't like it? This is the result of what is called stochastic terrorism. Let me say it again. Stochastic terrorism. It's terrorism that is fomented by hate speech that we know will result in some kind of an egregious event, but we can't pinpoint that until it actually happens. You're seeing it now. You're seeing the continual vilification of transgender people, people on the right in government, worried about whether parents are taking their children to transgender story hour or drag story hour. What business is that of yours, actually? Why don't you just worry about your own goddamn family? I am so sick of dancing around these issues that I'm at the point now where I'm taking no prisoners. This does not stop until 2 things happen. Number 1, hate speech needs to be stopped being treated as free speech. It is not free speech. It is not protected by the First Amendment to the Constitution. Period. The GOP needs to be shut the fuck up. The constant bullshit about transgender people and the hate that they spew about gay people is unprecedented in this. I used to work for the Human Rights Campaign back in the 90s. There was no way the GOP was anything like this. They were a pain in the ass. And they were definitely not pro-gay. But this kind of talk and rhetoric did not happen publicly, and the media pushed back on it. It is time now for everybody to stand up here. The second thing that needs to happen is automatic weapons need to be taken off the fucking street. There are too many hateful people who have too quick an access to weapons like that. The weapons exist for one reason: to kill large groups of people quickly. And that is what they're being used for. Do I want to take your handgun away? No, I don't. This is not what this is all about. But nobody in this country needs automatic weapons. No one needs semi-automatic weapons either. And anybody who tells you it is a necessary thing is full of shit. You do not hunt with them unless you're hunting people, which is exactly what happened last night in Colorado Springs. End of story. This stuff is off the chain now. It's unacceptable. It is not tolerable anymore, especially for people who are gay and lesbian and transgender, okay? I'm tired of hearing Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm tired of hearing Lauren Boebert. I'm tired of hearing Ron DeSatan. I'm tired of all of them. This shit is unacceptable across the board. You have a job to do as an elected official, and it is to serve all the people, all the time, whether they're gay, straight, Jewish, Black, Puerto Rican, Native American, they are your constituents on a daily basis. The GOP does absolutely fucking nothing to benefit any of the American people, not even white American people, unless, of course, they're billionaires like Elon Musk. Unless they can roll in the dough so they can get themselves elected. Unless they can take money from billionaires so that they can rebuild the court system to work against most people. And the only time the GOP ever talks, they don't talk about issues. They talk about cultural issues. They create culture wars. They create fear, loathing, where it doesn't need to be created. And they do this for political purposes because, quite frankly, the religious right and the Christian nationalists are all behind this hatred. Look it up. We just had a gay marriage bill, which really doesn't do a goddamn thing for gay marriage, that got voted on to be debated now so we can see if we can pass it. It really doesn't protect anybody from anything. It allows states to run rampant if they don't feel like giving out a marriage license, so they don't have to. They're not codifying Obergefell with this bill. That's a lie. They would never be able to codify Obergefell with the GOP and even the GOP that crossed the aisle. This is not what this bill is. And yet you have Franklin Graham already out there on videos spewing lies about what the bill does. It does not infringe upon anybody's religious rights. Churches can still discriminate. It's nice and safely ensconced in the bill, okay? It is not the bill that was originally intended, because there's no way the GOP will ever support anybody who doesn't think just like them. This is a hate crime. The GOP indulges in stochastic terrorism and hate speech all day long. Spend some time on Twitter, you can see it. They vilify LGBT people and call Ashley Babbitt a hero. They hang out with Kyle Rittenhouse, and the reason they hang out with Kyle Rittenhouse is because he is the poster boy fighting against white genocide. They are playing that game, and they are playing that card, just like they're playing the card with the kitty litter boxes in schools because children are identifying as cats. This is all bullshit. Bullshit. And you know what? All of those stories have been debunked across the board. Teachers aren't indoctrinating children to be gay. None of that gets done in K through 12. None of it. My kids went through school. I know. They lie. They cheat. They vilify people. And they promote a racist, transphobic, homophobic attitude in this country. And that is not what America is about. No matter what they tell you. Kyle Rittenhouse isn't a hero, and the people who were killed in Colorado Springs, like so many people before them, are victims of a hate crime. And the GOP still doesn't support hate crime legislation. It still doesn't support restrictions on guns, not even expanded background checks or registration for guns. And no matter what anyone tells you, the Second Amendment wasn't all about arming individuals. Read the fucking bill. I got to go. I'm running out of time here. But everybody needs to understand what this is all about. This cannot be allowed any longer. I'll talk to you later.